On here from Untapped Revenue. And in today's video, I want to go through an audit of an account that just recently happened with a client of ours. He's running about 3 locations and he was having a really hard time getting his lead cost down. He had hired some experts. He hired some people to come on and try to essentially lower his cost per lead or just to get some leads in general. And he'd just been having a hard time with this ad account. So I want to go through today essentially how I look at an ad account and how I essentially flip it. Because this ad account, was spending thousands of dollars, getting such high cost per leads and really not very profitable with Facebook ads. So what we did is we kind of dissected the issues of this ad account and we flipped it. And now we're getting cost per leads at $5, $6, $7, $8, $9 a pop instead of these kind of $30, $45, $58 leads. So I want to show you that process. Now, I always talk about how it's really important to have the foundational aspects in place on Facebook. So making sure your tracking's there, making sure you're using offline event tracking, making sure you're not using your personal account. But I've been getting this question a lot lately where it's like, Alec, I have all the things in place. Like my foundational things are there, but I'm still not getting results. So I want to go through this kind of other aspect of Facebook ads where it's more kind of the nitty-gritty details of things. Because as much as the foundational things are important, there also needs to be a proper ad. You need to actually test your market. So figure out what your market actually wants to see on Facebook. You also need to essentially make sure you're keeping Facebook happy. And this is something that this account was not doing. And this was the big thing that we found from this. And one of the big reasons we were able to flip this is because we found that the ad account was not making Facebook happy. And what happens when you're not making Facebook happy is they don't say, oh, hey there, your ad account is kind of just not very good and the ads just aren't relevant to the audience. So we're going to essentially have to increase the cost of your ads. Facebook doesn't do that. Facebook doesn't pick up the phone and call you and tell you that your ads are bad. What ends up happening is they just increase your interest rate. So you're putting in money and now your lead costs are going up. So it's just costing you more money. You don't know why it's costing you more money. It's costing you more money. So I want to give you kind of a strategy in order to figure out if you are actually following Facebook's or what Facebook wants and making Facebook happy. So how I'm going to do that is essentially just walk you through what I did with this account. Okay. So look at this. There's 3 locations here, as I said, but they're all kind of getting lead costs here at like $30, $60. NC is North Center. Andersonville is here, $30 leads. These ones, $19 and $17 leads, they're not too bad. If the lead quality here is really good, then that's okay. But I think these campaigns were actually a while ago. Yeah, so these were in 2018. In 2018, it was a little bit easier to market. But these newer ones here at the top, 2019 January, 59, 29, 44, like these are just really high cost per leads. And if I go down even further here, I was looking at some others that were really high as well, $66, $32. These landing page clicks are pretty high as well. Typically it should be, half a cent. Or not half a cent, but like 50 cents, sorry. $82 leads, $100 leads. $38 leads, $78 leads. Oh my gosh, $174 leads. Like you get the point here. So the ad costs are really, really high. So what do we look at here? So if I go into the ad level, so I'm actually looking at the ads themselves here. Now, of course, they still have similar results here. But if I look at this relevancy, now relevancy has just currently changed. And we can see that because if I scroll down here, none of these will have any of these relevancy columns filled out because only the most recent ones will because it's a new change. So what happened in the past and how they were ranking this was essentially they had a score of 1 to 10. And I've talked about relevancy before. So if you're not familiar with that, you can scroll back on my Facebook page and you can see a post that I made about relevancy and how it's changing and the purposes of it. But essentially it's a score from 1 to 10 that's telling Facebook how relevant your ad is to the audience. That's essentially it. So what I'm looking at here, and this is how I kind of went about studying this account. I first looked at the CPM to see, okay, is it the competition that's driving up the cost? Is there so many people competing for the Facebook newsfeed that it's just costing us so much money to get in front of people that our lead costs are really high? So when looking at this, I discovered that it's not really that big of a problem. Yes, it's in Chicago, and yes, it's a pretty competitive area, but our CPM isn't too bad. $22, $21, that's not awful. And you're probably wondering, Alec, how can I tell if my CPM is a good CPM or not? Well, it's really going to depend on your area, right? If there's a lot of competition, your CPM might be closer to $30. We want to typically keep that lower than about $30. Any higher than it's bad. And how you can lower your CPM is if you get good relevancy scores, so get good relevant copies, and then of course you're actually bidding quite a bit of money. You're outbidding your competitors as well. So, but if you have a really good ad with a lot of social engagement and stuff, you can be putting out $10 a day ads and they can be crushing it. You can have a CPM of $5 if it's really, really good. But this wasn't the issue here. So I looked at that. I kind of just passed that by saying that's really not an issue here. Now, when I started looking at these stats here, this was kind of where I was getting some red flags. Like, okay, $4, that's really, really high. Typically, we want that under $2. $10, $6, $9, $12. Like these cost per clicks are crazy, crazy high. Like this one's okay, but $2.85, like what is this? Oh, these are landing page views. That is crazy high for a landing page view. That's not even a lead. That's to get somebody to a website. So even then, that's really, really expensive. So yeah, so we'll just stick to these top ads here. So the other thing I did is look at the click-through rate. Click-through rate should typically be about 1%. If it's not 1%, then your ad is just not good. But when I looked at the actual ad, and we run a lot of ads, they don't seem to be that bad. Like time is running out, get one of our free passes. Do you like free things? Do you have like, this is a pretty good ad. Like it's not bad. It shouldn't be doing as poorly as it's doing. I also looked at the targeting to check to make sure that the targeting was properly done, that the placements were proper, and to make sure that we were just going to the news feed or what it kind of was doing. And I looked at like these kind of things. But what I found was there was no really big problem there. And I wasn't understanding as to why this was happening. So what we did is I looked at the history of the actual ad account itself to see maybe this is one of those ad accounts that had been flagged. And it turns out it actually was. So what we did is I did a history of the ad account for the past 9 months. And the average relevancy from the past 9 months, and I mean, there's a lot of ads here. Now you can't see the relevancy score here because they changed it, but there was a column that would show you a score from 1 to 10. And on average, when we did the reporting of the columns, the average was 4.1 relevancy. And if you're under 6 relevancy, that's when you're kind of getting into a red zone. So 5 can sometimes work. 4 is kind of like a no-no. So here's the thing, and here's what I want you to think about. If you're a business, and Facebook is obviously a business, and you have people on your platform, or let's say, for example, in your case, you have people in your gym, right? And those people in your gym are giving a bad experience. They're negative, they're mean, they're just like, it just makes people not want to be around them. That's going to affect your business. Same thing with Facebook. When you put out a Facebook ad and Facebook says, okay, your relevancy is 4, people don't really like your ads. What ends up happening is they don't call you up and say, hey, your ads are really, really bad. We're going to drive up your costs unless you fix them, right? That doesn't happen. What ends up happening is your costs go up, your ads just get crappier because now your traffic's your ad is going to crappier traffic, or like it's just not working very well. So your costs go up like crazy and you don't know why it's happening. So that was giving me a huge clue as to, okay, we are not making Facebook happy here. We're making Facebook unhappy. So I think what we need to do is scrap the account. So that's exactly what we did. So we ran a test with 2 locations. We scrapped this ad account. We got new pixels on the website. We got new offline event tracking set up. We set up a completely new ad account. We got a payment method set up. And I want to show you the results. So you saw those ones like $30, $60, and look at this transformation. This is absolutely insane. So here are the 2 locations we're running them for now. And if I go into here and I go into the stats, look at this already. And this has only been since, I think it's been about 4 days or so. But look at this. I mean, we're getting lead costs for under $10 right now. Since the 27th of March, it's now April 3rd. But look at this. If I go further into the ad account, into the tests we're running right now, $8, $6. We have average and above average here, below average quality ranking. Now, typically it's pretty difficult to get a good quality ranking here unless you have creative that's going to fit perfectly on the platform and you're getting a whole bunch of engagement. A lot of the times it's difficult to do that. But look at this, $6, $8. Like this is a massive difference. If I look into the deeper funnel metrics, same thing here. Cheaper CPM here. Just this looks better here. The cost per click, like I said, under $2. Click-through rate is about that 1%. And then jumping over into the other ad account as well, I mean, it's the same thing here. Look at this. I mean, we're getting $5 here, $9 here. Like these are crazy, crazy cheap. Above average, below average here. Like I said, it's a little difficult there. Cost per click, about $2 here. This is a really competitive area, so I'm not surprised. 1%, close to 1%, 1% here. And I mean, like the lead cost just says it all here. And this is just the first round of testing. We haven't even optimized this, so we can probably get this down even further than this. But look at that difference. Like that's absolutely crazy. And I just really wanted to share this with you guys because this is some of the stuff that people are missing. Right? People don't know that their ad account might be actually flagged by Facebook. There's no way for you to really tell unless you're doing this every single day like I am. So, I mean, if this is something you're interested in learning more about, you're interested in me kind of jumping on your ad account, doing a quick little audit to see where you can make some improvements. If you're getting $10 lead cost, great. But the thing is, you might be missing some things. You might be in a great location that's actually just really easy to advertise in. Right? A lot of the times I see that people are running ads, they're getting really good results, and they don't think they can improve them because they're getting the average cost per lead that's working. Let me tell you something, there's always ways to improve things. But this was just a really cool example I wanted to show you guys to express that there's a lot of things going on in the background of Facebook. You need to make them happy or else they are going to punish your ad accounts. They're going to increase your costs and you're not going to know about it. Okay. So if you're interested in getting a free audit like this, me checking out your account, seeing if we can make some improvements, I'll leave a link below so you can just book a free strategy call with me and we can kind of go through your account and that sort of stuff. But other than that, I hope this was very valuable for you guys and you learned something in terms of how to go through the account, how to find bottlenecks, and how to potentially find out if your account is flagged or not. Hope this was helpful, guys, and I'll talk to you soon.